thing is that the back and forth isn't what you'd hope it would be when, you know, you're in person and I can see faces and see who's all here. And I'm just going to start penciling. But before I get into my chalk talk here, I do want to thank Joe Martin and Glenn West and the entire Coaches Association. The organization's run extremely well, and we appreciate the chance to be able to speak today and to be in this clinic talk and be part of this great organization, how efficiently it is run with all the challenges there are today that we're facing. I think those guys, hats off to you guys, and we thank you for your effort and all of what you have done to coordinate this event and to include us. So we thank you for that. Thank you guys. On behalf of Coach Herman, Coach Herman wanted us to get in front of you guys and to share some ideas and to make sure that, you know, we're doing as much as we can in this time where normally, you know, we'd be finishing up camps and this is vacation time, but it's a little bit different this year. So it's great to be at least virtual with you guys and to be as involved as we can. So today I'm going to go over intermediate passing game. And so one of the concepts that we have that we've been running for a while here, I'm going to try to share my screen here. The drive concept has been a very tried and true method of intermediate passing game. I learned it first when I was a GA, when I was at Indiana University. Our offensive coordinator was Al Borges, and he majored in the drive concept, and we've gotten away from it a little bit at times, but it's a really effective way to get a nice triangle read. So conceptually, what the drive concept for us is, if you're taking notes here, and also like this template I'm using. So I'm using an iPen, right? And this template was made by my GA, and he gave me it, emailed it to me, PDF, right? Whatever that means, but it's a PDF, so I can download it and I can use it like a photograph and just kind of drag it over and apply it to GoodNotes is what I use, okay? GoodNotes. So I get real organized. We have our whole playbook on it. We can draw in our playbooks. We can save it. We can erase it. So that's what it is. Now, I put J.W. Walsh is one of our offensive analysts, and I put J-Dub's address up here. So if you guys want this template, I know I've gotten hit up on this template by a lot of coaches who hear me do clinic talks. We'll send you this template. It's not a big deal. But I'm using my iPad right now, and then I'm using an iPen, right? And I'm downloading this template, this PDF, to a program called GoodNotes, all right? And so this is a drive concept. A drive concept for us is basically a middle triangle read, or what we can call a delta concept, meaning delta, right, triangle, all right? We're reading in middle triangle delta read, all right? So the first way we ran Z drive back in the day, and still a really good way to run it, is just, I'm going to take it first out of doubles formation. I like it because it's multiple. You can run out 3x1. You can run out of empty. You can run out of doubles. Okay, you can run 6-man protection, 5-man protection, whatever you want. But our base way of running Z drive is out of 2x2. Okay, 6-man protection. All right, and then the flanker, the Z, has the drive route. Okay, so he's 3 to 4 yards. He's coming across here. Okay, and he's either throwing down and settling and shuffling. Okay, versus zone, or if he feels it's man, he's going to stand and run. The adjacent receiver runs a vertical basic, 10 to 12 yards, and he's running that basic route. And then the tailback is running an O route. Really want to get 4 yards by 4 yards, somewhere around there. 4 yards outside that tackle, 4 yards deep, okay, and just find that soft spot right there. It's just a spot up. There is no match on cover rule like that, just spotting up, okay? If it's man, it ain't going to him, okay? To the field, there's a multitude of things that we can do here. So if we call Z drive, our base build-in, okay? Our base build-in is going to be a vertical seam with a high bender on it, okay? He's just going to crack that safety space. If it's cover 2, he's just going to crack. If it's cover 4, you know, he's gonna work vertical, but when he breaks off that safety, he's got to maintain some sort of vertical plane to not run into that basic area, obviously. On the outside, we're going to run a comeback. Your depth can vary on that based on your quarterback's arm strength, in my opinion. You can go to 18, 16, doesn't really matter. So when we started teaching the quarterback this, under the center, okay, a drive concept, under center was a 7-step drop back in the day, and it timed up really well, okay? Because what we're saying here, we're going to draw a generic defense here, okay? In a 2 shell, okay, what we're trying to do is really basically get, like I said, we're trying to get this triangle read, right? We're trying to create that triangle and really isolating 2 hook defenders in a middle open field defense. You know, we're expecting them to play 3 over 2 in some variants. And then we're going to isolate the weak hook defender, which here is a mic, to the strong hook defender. Or I should say, excuse me, I misspoke. Strong hook defender to weak hook defender. And really going 1, 2, 3 on those 2 cats. That's basically, in essence, what we're trying to do. Now, we've also evolved, and as you grow, okay, as you grow, you can add in certain things to the field, which I'll cover here in a little bit. But the most important thing is this. The timing of this back in the day was 7 steps, right? You can go out of the gun, you can go 5 quick. And I do think 5 quick can help generate the rhythm and the timing that you need, because here's the gig. We don't want to try to surprise this drive with the ball over, you know, say the center. We want to let him go ahead and settle down and start to shuffle and show me his chest. And I want to put this ball on him, more of a body shot, all right? I want to paste the ball on his chest, all right? Let him settle versus zone. If he feels on this drive route now, a coaching point here, as he's coming across, he's taking a picture of what's across the field, right? If he sees a defender kind of in a shuffle mode, right, buzzing to the flat, we're trying to reroute number 2, well, that's zone, match technique. So he's a shuffle, well, I want to be a shuffle, right? If this guy's running the man, well, then I'm running the man. Match his technique. Take a peek. That'll help. So we want to settle no earlier than the tackle, backside tackle. Okay, no earlier than the tackle. And if he gets a little bit more width, then that's all good. Now, let's just say it's zone, and this nickel Sam just runs and turns and is just really hell-bent on playing 3 over 2. And if he feels he's running and he wants to run, that's all good. Grass trumps all man zone principles, right? Take green grass. You see that nickel out of there. There's no cloud. It's just nothing but grass. Go ahead and take it. Stay on the run. It's all good. But the quarterback now is thinking, okay, if you could imagine back in the day, 7 steps, right? 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's how it would be with a hitch. We are letting that receiver get to that area and throttle down. I'm not trying to surprise him with the ball. It's not, okay, bang, got it. Okay? It's not right now. No, let him sort out. If he wants to take a good drop to the field, whether it's Tampa or whatever, let him go. We are going to let him settle with timing, and we're going to put it on him. And then if we don't like it, if he covers down, we are now going to progress to number 2, which is the basic. And if the wheel's all over that, we're going to get to number 3. This tailback is very juicy in any middle field open coverage. It's really good. He's always open. He's always open. Okay? Now, we've evolved. Okay? We've evolved. So there are times where we said, hey, you know what, quarterback, when they're playing their cover 2, you know, they're getting hands-on, but, you know, we can go ahead and take a peek here in cover 2. We can give that a 1A and peek it. If you like it, let it rip. Okay? Be aggressive with it. Okay? Similarly, right, if we get some sort of weak rotation, let's say we get, free safety weak and he's buzzing down, we can now, again, think seam. If they went cover 3 weak here and they got too many cats into the boundary, Will buzzes, right, free safety's down, okay, we can go ahead and peek that seam. If he wants the big sky or match that, rip Liz, whatever you call it, if he wants to take away that seam, okay, now we can use that comeback as 2. So on weak rotation, we can go 1A, 2, and then now we would use our shallow, our drive route as 3. So the progression could change. Okay, so let me go back. Let's flip it around. That's where, okay, under center 7-step drop and going into the gun, now going 5 quick, maybe 5 quick is too deep of a drop. Maybe those tackles are getting too much stress on them because of a 5 quick drop. I do like a 5 quick drop because it's old school 7-step. That's a good rhythm. Now, when you start entering in the possibilities of seam routes, we all want to complete those by 18 to 22. Our footwork needs to become multiple. So in the gun, we may shuffle, okay? We may shuffle to get that ball to that seam. So your footwork can become multiple. If I know it's middle field open and I don't want to mess around, quarterback, and I just want to go weak hook defender, strong hook defender, 1, 2, 3, I can now go 5 quick. And if y'all ain't comfortable with that, just make it a 3 big, and he may hitch twice. It's all good. But again, when in doubt, we're going to go 1, 2, and 3, and then we can have fun to the field based on how they want to cover us, if it's weak rotation and the like, right? Man-to-man may have some tags from a man-to-man standpoint of what you want to do to the field. So we can look over and try to help our quarterback out. And I'm going to change it because, again, 2x2, let's work 12 personnel. All right, let's work 12 personnel. Let's put our H in a wing here. And let's put a flanker in here and X out there. Now let's just say we know they're a team that goes corners over when they go man. Well, now we can have a little bit of fun, you know, and maybe we want to run a fade with a hitch versus man. We can incorporate that in. We can incorporate that in, right? One of the fun tags that we like, you know, what kind of man are you getting? So if it's pressed inside and the corner's outside and you just have really poor leverage on that fade, you know, you can run your rub routes and try to free guys up in a flat. The best part about it is if somebody falls down and you don't like it, quarterback, man, just get through it. Just get through your progression, left to right. Here we go. If you get off it quick enough, you can go 1, 2, 3. What I tell them, though, is if you have intent to the field, skip the basic. Very important coaching point, because if you're thinking field and your hips are set there and your intent is set there, and then something goes bad, all right, whatever, loses leverage, you don't like it, come to your shallow as your 2, and then skip that basic and go to your tailback as 3 if you have intent. If you have intent to the front side of this thing. Because if you throw this thing late to the basic, bad things can happen. You're not going to see a defender. So take the safe checkdowns right there to your shallow and to your tailback route. So those are 2 good man beaters right there to the field for you, and simply look over. Maybe 12 personnel helps you. Maybe it doesn't. Okay. There's other things that we can do against coverages. If I want the quarterback, you know, if there's too much thinking going on, doggone it, there's going to be a time where we just want to go 1, 2, 3, delta read, work our triangle, right? We want to work our triangle. I'll just give them a dead route. They'll know if I just call ox, which is protection with a speed out, they know that's coach is basically telling me that that's a dead. I'm going to get my eyes over there, but I'm really going weak hook defender, strong hook defender. Okay, 1, 2, 3. I'm seeing the triangle right now. So that's a good way to just say, hey, you know what? Wash it. Hey, let's just go ox. Here we go. Now the quarterback's cleared. He understands what ox means. Ox means get to the drive concept, 1, 2, 3. Certain things can tell him based on what you run, based on your language. But I think it's very easy, and you can cut his thinking in half by just telling him, hey, abort the field. Let's just go triangle read. Okay. I want to talk about the basic route before I get too further into other formations. I think it's very important for that basic runner to really reduce that surface. So he wants to actually come back downhill. He wants to get into this cut, right? He wants to get into this. It's not a real choppy breakdown pressure cut. He wants to get into it, but we don't want to round it so much that we actually keep on continuing to climb, right? So red would be bad here. Red would be bad here. We don't want that angle. We actually want to reduce it in the blue line. Okay, we want to reduce it on the blue line and actually come back negative. So a great way to drill this, okay, a great way to drill this is to have your cone is a 10 to 12 yard route, we say. So if we put our cone at about 11, and then we put another cone about 5 yards away at 12 and a half, 13, that teaches them to really get inside that second cone and come back down negative, and that will help protect the throw for the quarterback. It teaches them the proper angles and how to get back. I'm talking about a half yard coming back downhill negative. Very important, technique-wise, right? Technique-wise. We talked about the shallow matching technique, right? I see a nickel Sam out here. If I see him shuffling, I start to turn and shuffle and face the quarterback, right? I see him run, I run. Grass trumps man's own rules, okay? Other things you can run here, we can run protection, and then we can run the deeper out here. And you can bang this for cover 4, take a peek, make that 1. If I have intent there, well, then this becomes 2, tailback becomes 3, and I skip that basic, right? If I feel any cloud at all, quarterback, I'm keying that field safety on the sail call. If I feel any cloud at all, I am off it, and I'm 1, 2, 3. Well, now, quarterback, I got off it fast enough to where I can go 1, 2, 3 with mindful over Mike and Will, whoever these people are, 2 backers, strong hook and weak hook defenders, right? Key that defender, that hook defender to the field. He's 1. If he's deep, just give him the ball. Give him the ball. If he covers down, move on to your basic high-low, the wheel linebacker. Sorry for the chicken scratch. Okay, another little tag that could be useful for you. You got some free access to the field, especially in 12 personnel. All right, let's go back to 12. And then give it a little shout call. So I'm sorry, this would be our Z. This would be our X. So a little shout. Seam up the hash with an out. Okay. Working our seam up the hash. Bend it versus 2. Convert versus press or cloud, right? But I can take this right here, quarterback. We're saying, hey, man, it's free access to the field. Corner's off. They're trying to reroute Big Skya, Rip Liz, whatever you want to call it, right? We're 1A in that. If I have intent to my out, shallow becomes 2. Tailback becomes 3. Abort the basic read. So it's the same every time, right? It's the same every time. Quarterback, you don't like something? I tell them this all the time. Pre-snap, your first step, something freaked you out. Right here, guys. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Just stay there and then build your tags into it. You may just say, hey, you know what, do a drive right now. We're just going to work our ox tag, which means quarterback, that's a burn, right? Ox, protection, and the speed out by 2. That's a burn. We're telling you ox. We're telling you this side is dead. You're working 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, work 1, 2, 3, work your delta read. Weak hook to strong hook defender. Here we go. And then we slowly build it in. Hey, we're getting cover 1. Hey, let's signal fade smash, right? Oh, cover 1, we need a little pit. Here we go. And build it in. I think that's a friendly way to teach it. And then get your quarterback squared away on what the triangle read is. And then you don't throw the whole kitchen sink at them. Okay, drive is a lot of fun to run because you can now formation it and have a lot of fun with, how you're trying to get your personnel matched up. So let's just go 3 by 1. And now when we incorporate 3 by 1, we're now going to give our X some isolations. It could be comeback, it could be out, it could be post corner. whatever we want to run, stutter, go, whatever, okay? Very friendly. X gets the ball, okay? Now it's H drive. Nothing changes for his rules, still stays the same. Tight end's got the basic, nothing changes. Tailback, nothing changes. You can do whatever you want to the field, okay? You can go come back. That's preferable for us. You can build it in however you see fit. And if you feel like you're getting quarters, you want to tag them on a post or hand signal it, have at it, feel free, okay? It just becomes a little bit, when you incorporate the Z, it just becomes one more thing that you got to teach. So just be careful. Don't get too far ahead of yourself, because here's the rule on 3-by-1 drive, okay? We are going to isolate and we're going to read key that free safety to the boundary. He's our movement key, okay? If he's half field, we're 1, 2, and 3. Good. If he is low quarters, we are 1, 2, and 3, okay? If he goes 4 solo and he's looking at 3 and his intent is 3, we are now going 1, 2, skip the basic, 3. Makes sense, y'all? Okay? I had intent somewhere else, so I'm skipping the basic. He goes cover 1, I go X, I go H, I go tailback, right? Cover 3, same gig. Rotation, we're going to our single isolation. Simple as that. Any movement into the boundary, I'm still keying weak to strong hook defender, right? Weak to strong hook defender. Don't be afraid to go ahead and get a 5-yard completion right there, guys, right? In zones, I think it's really important for you guys to teach the quarterback what most defenses, okay, what most defenses are trying to teach the guys that are hook curl and flat curl defenders, right? They're teaching them to watch your eyes, Q, right? So wherever you're looking, they're going to melt in that direction, or they're going to drift in that direction. What does that mean? That means if I'm looking left, right, and then I'm looking Will, and then I'm looking Mike, and that's how my eyes go. So my eyes are here, really my eyes are then here, and then my eyes are here, right? If I'm not going to X, that's where my eyeballs would go. Well, this guy, you have to teach this now, this tailback, at the end of the day, right, no blitz protection, right, he gets out, or blitz protection rules, he gets out, they didn't occupy him. If he's able to get out, he will be the most open guy. He will have the most room because all these defenders are watching the quarterback's eyes. So you can help that quarterback even by giving a little bit of a shoulder shrug and then relocating that ball to that tailback and a check down. Huge yardage here. He's always open in zone. When he gets out, he's always open because they will all melt to my eyes. Because my eyes are here, and then they're here, and then lastly, they're here. So if I know where those escape hatches are, if I know where those outlets are, and I can quickly move, I can get there, that's big time. And by that time, guys, here's what happens a lot of times, okay? Run up, and I drill the hell out of this, okay? Run up drill. Where the quarterback's going 3 big, okay? I'm going 3 big, and then I'm here, and then by the time I get here, I now have to navigate the pocket. All right, they have contained. I'm now running up in the pocket with good ball security. I have 2 hands on the football. I have a throwing grip. I maintain a throwing grip. And as I'm running up, well, guess what this Mike linebacker is now thinking? He's thinking, oh, crap, here comes the draw. Here comes the scramble, right? I now have to rally, right? As we're running up, if we can think throw, but our body says that we're running, you will now have huge gains on simple checkdowns on a run-up drill. And we drill it. That's an everyday drill for us. We're running up in the pocket. The meter says run, but we're thinking throw, throwing grip until we cross that line of scrimmage. But there's a lot of hidden explosives, guys, on a check down because now we've displaced a hook defender because he has to try to defend the quarterback scramble. That's real. It's happened. Okay, that's a drill that I see on Saturdays, right? If you don't see your drills on the game tape, get rid of the drill. Do the drills that you do see. That's one, in my experience, that we've seen over and over and over again. Okay, we've talked about 3-by-1. Let's go to bunch. Okay, let's go to bunch. Again, this would be an X isolation. So whatever you want, stay away from the glances. We did, okay, so this was a conversation in a previous life. We have banged glances, okay, but that was a hand signal from the quarterback to the X because we were banging so many outs that the corner was outside, but we knew it was one high. So we knew that this angle wouldn't interfere with the basic to the field. If you get cover two, right, if you get cover two, and you signal that glance and that glance flattens that thing off, you're going to have a little bit of traffic with the basic. That's bad business. So if you know it's straight, cover one or cover three, one high, and that corner's leaning and you just love glances, 3x1, and you're good at glances, I love them too, then that's something to be aware of. Just make sure that it's a clear and sunny day out there, okay? Okay, so you got your X tag, put them on a shake. All right, X tag, and now we got the Y on the basic. It's still flanker drive. And now we take our H and just try to drain that half. Try to drain that outside right there. Try to take two birds, corner and try to alleviate that pressure and take that safety so he can't drive that Y. And it also clears a nice little avenue up for your tailback on your check. And your check 4x4, whatever y'all want to call that. Again, yes, no, right? Yes, no to my single. And then based on who's my movement key now, guys, right? Who's my movement key? 3x1, boundary safety. He tells me where to go. You got to tell that quarterback where are your eyes every play. Who's your movement key? Every play he's got to know. He's got to know. Widest defender. It's the boundary safety. It's the Sam. Whatever your offense dictates, you have to indoctrinate him on where his eyes need to be on a snap, or else he's going to wander. And then you're going to be in there on the film room thinking, hey, you know what? Why is he doing all these different things? Where is he at with his reads? Why is he late? Why is he holding on to the ball? I've been there, done that, is because he has to be indoctrinated. He has to know exactly where to look, what defender he's keying. And it could be a progression read. That's fine. IHO, is he open? I love him. The more you can build in your offense, the better. But we still have to key certain defenders. So these are, let's go 12 personnel again, and we'll go 3x1. So we can go H, Y, and then we can go twins again here. And here we can run the same gig, guys. Put them on a corner. They're all over the field, right? Whatever you want to incorporate. But really good dynamic plays, the same read over and over and over and over and over again. Drive is drive is drive is drive. Okay, last one. Last one will be empty. And this is one where, you know, as a GA, learning from Al Borges, it couldn't have been better for my career, honestly. The guy was a heck of a brain, still is. Al would tinker a little bit, but he loved the drive concept, and he had a lot of success doing it on empty. And I don't mean to chop his up. So if he ever watches this and I get it wrong, I apologize, Coach. But he did a great job of doing certain things to where we would have an advantage and just trying to incorporate the same read over and over again for our quarterback. So whether it was the tailback and empty, or whether it doesn't matter. Whoever it is, you can build it in part of your system, but it still would be 3x1 drive for us. So H drive, right? H drive, and then we take the tailback. And he'd delay him. He'd fire his feet, okay, delay him, and then he'd be under everything. He'd be under everything. Same rules on the shallow. So it incorporated, you know, whether you want to X tag it, isolate there. It incorporated a version of mesh, but still you're still going triangle read here, right? You're still going triangle read. If you want your X isolations, tag that. Peek that, and then if you don't like it, but you had intent there now, right? You want to go 2, 3, right? We're skipping the basic when we have intent to go to the X isolation or any concept to the field. All right? Very important. Okay, but you can build this drive concept however you see fit. This obviously would be a 5-man protection with a little nuance with the tailback on a slight delay with his little fire feet off the ball. But again, building the same concepts, different formations. There's only so many dropbacks you're going to call in a game. I know when we start game planning, it's okay, where's the shots? All right, you got RPOs. You want to move the pocket. You want to have your quicks. You know, how many drop back passes are you going to call in a game, right? Handful. Call them four different ways. It's the same read for your quarterback. I would encourage you guys to really try to and I got to remind myself, it's not like I'm saying I don't want to preach at you. I'm just saying that's the world I've lived that life where we've got to make it simple for him to where he's constantly knowing where to go with the ball. It's the same read over and over. We all know that. Okay, I want to switch gears now, and I want to go into a concept based off our vertical game. Okay. So it's still intermediate because of all the tags that we can have off of our vertical game. So we're going to call 4 verticals, whether we come back or have them run a straight go based on a call, however you build your verticals on. So free access, you may want to come back, press, you might want to run a go, or vice versa. Maybe you want to just lock the comeback on, whatever you want to do there. Okay, to the field, we're running a straight vertical. Okay, so however we call this, but when we call this, devil, okay, devil, any D word, we used to call it divide for us was our vertical game, divide the field, right? Divide. And then when we called devil, okay, devil was to the left. Okay, so devil, we now ran a 12-yard seam, which would convert to more of a basic. That's not a bender, that's a basic, okay, which is more of a dig, 12-yard dig. Middle field closed, he's running the seam. Middle field open, he's digging it off, okay? And then the outside guy is running what we call an India route, which is 7 yards. If he's got really soft free access, he's just going to hang out, okay? If he's got any type of cloud or match or when in doubt, he's going to bring that puppy in, okay? We're going to take our tailback, and we're going to release him to the field, 6-man pro, and we're going to turn him to the field to try to displace the mic. And all we're doing is run 4 verticals. If it's one high, we're going 2-on-1 fast break football, 18 to 22, okay? 3 yards outside the hash, okay? Rip the seam. If it's middle field open, we're trying to displace the mic, make sure the mic displaces so we can make that 1A. And then all we're doing is high-low and the wheel line back on the weak side. Okay? Anytime it's free access and you want to go ahead and bang that rise up right now, take it. It's all good. It's all good. So it would look like this, right? Wheel, high-low. Make sure the mic moves, displace them. And the best part about it is you can go to the field with it, right? And you don't always have to have the tailback that same side. So sometimes you can screw with them, but, where do you want the coverage, I guess? It all depends. So we can go to the field with this thing. A little deep there. And just trying to high-load nickel now. Now, Mike can get involved, so not as advantageous as in the boundary. But it all depends on what he's relating to. If he's relating to 3, right, and you're facing more of a quarters team, it's a nice, easy completion. Ball's out of your hand right now. It's just shuffle, hitch, 12-yard basic. Again, that should be 12 yards. Bad drawing. He wants the wall. Now, let's talk about this India route. It's a really good route, but it takes work, okay? So we want to be patient at the top, all right? We want to be patient at the top. We want to make a precision pressure cut right there, okay? When in doubt, we're going to bring that sucker in. If that corner is absolutely soft, free access, overlap, we're going to hang out and run a hitch. However, if he were to feel, obviously that's going to be cover 3. There's going to be somebody coming inside out, right? It's going to be, let's just say it's 3 buzz. I hitch up 7 yards, hook up, corners, free access, overlap. If I feel them come to me, I can now uncover inside. That'll be a little bit late. That's the work, but that's the magic. That's what makes it really hard to defend that. Strong safety's a buzz player. He's going to carry the seam, right? 3 buzz. He's going to carry that seam. And so now he could get you, right? You could say, well, coach, I should be ripping this seam. I'm all good. You can go ahead and go 2-on-1. That's what we said. Oh, I know what I forgot. Let's go back. I want to really give you guys this because I think it can be really good. Okay. When we talk about the drive concept, okay, if we get man to man, I'm going back to drive now. But this is really good stuff. I think it can be. If we got a man ID, okay, and they're playing outside leverage, whatever, and they're doing a good job versus press man. There's times we want to free guys up, man. Okay, so there's certain things that we can do on the front side of this drive with motion to try to help ourselves out and try to free ourselves up, depending on what schemes that you want to run. So just a simple hand motion here, right? And then as he releases, he's going to lose. And then there's just a multitude of things that we can run, right? We can run, corner post off this thing. We could run, sail where I would be protecting and I would outside release. I'd go vertical and then I make my speed cut on the out pretty friendly, right? So now we can take a peek here. 1, we can go 2. I can go to my drive as 3 and now my tailback as 4, okay? Okay, we guessed wrong. We didn't look over. We called it, ran it, and it turned into cover 2. Keying that safety to the field. He's half field and wide. I'm 1, I'm 2, and I'm 3 to my check down to my tailback. But a really friendly way, create some movements, get your inside guys, outside movement, put your best guy out there, your most athletic guy. Be able to take him off the ball and move him around in motion. Too many times, and I've been guilty of this, okay, you get caught in a man-to-man situation where, hey, man, we got too many where we got to win off the ball. Well, let's help them out with motion. Let's help them out by putting them out there, try to ID it. Let's bring them on some sort of short motion to where we can free up his release, right? There's 2 rules in offensive football that we have to take advantage of. One, we can motion, right? So we must use motion. And secondly, cadence, right? Cadence. We know when the ball is going to be snapped. They don't. We've got to use that as a weapon. So those 2 things we constantly have to remind ourselves, okay, to free ourselves up, free our guys up. Yeah, crosses and meshes are all good, but there's a time to get vertical on their ass too. And I think a lot of short motion can really help alleviate any problems that you're having trying to get off the line of scrimmage if you're lacking in the athletic department. If you may be facing somebody that's a little bit better at DB than you are at wide receiver from an athletic standpoint. Be creative with your motions and try to free your guys up. And there's a lot of different other things that you can do if your quarterback's lacking the arm strength to the field. Hey, protect your X and then, lose them and then run a quicker route, right? Just run a quicker route, whether that's Ohio, Ox, whatever y'all want to call that. But it's still the same thing. It's progression reads, and you're building it into a system, and the quarterback can read the same thing, over and over and over again. And I don't, Coach Herman, are you on here right now?
I am.
Okay, great. Guys, I want to introduce Coach Herman. I want to say one thing here, not to blow smoke up at him, but Coach has done a tremendous job with our team in a time where there's a lot of uncertainty. His leadership's been phenomenal in the fact that he's gotten tremendous communication from administrators to doctors. I mean, I couldn't imagine his day. And it's all about over communication. Our players feel very confident right now that that they're in the best situation possible because all the work this guy's done. Coach, hats off to you and through all this adversity that we're going through. I think it's really important that we understand as football coaches that we got to be the pillars. And I know that, football is getting canceled left and right and pushed back, and there's a lot of uncertainty. But at the end of the day, these young men need us. And, Coach, man, you've done a hell of a job. So thank you. And I know you want to speak to the group, so have at it.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Mike. I thought the last half I was on with Coach Ash, learned a little bit about defense, but doesn't do me a whole lot of good to introduce Mike at the end of his talk, but I will anyways. I want everybody on this call to understand the amount of respect that I have for Mike. When I was an offensive coordinator back at Ohio State and Iowa State prior to that, there's certain guys in the country that you study every year in the off season, and Mike's offense was definitely one of them. And when I had the opportunity to hire him here at the University of Texas, it was absolutely a no-brainer for me. We believe in the same things. I think Mike does a phenomenal job, not just the X's and O's, but coaching quarterbacks, coaching the entire offense, really being the head coach of the offense. He knows every position, their assignment, their technique, their alignment, you name it. And it's been a great 6 months being around him. And I know most of this stuff was scheme, but if you want to talk to him about quarterback development, anything, nothing is off the table. As you guys know, we're going into year 4 here at the University of Texas. The door is always open to you guys. I do want to thank the Texas High School Coaches Association. This is phenomenal what they've been able to put together in the last couple months, and to see over 1,000 guys combined listening to Mike Yurcich and Chris Ash in the time of a global pandemic and guys wanting to get better. We're lucky. We're lucky that for most of you were born and raised in this state. For some like me, we got here as fast as we could. But to be able to coach football at any level in this state with the leadership of the Texas High School Coaches Association is an honor and a privilege. And lastly, I think what Mike said, these are uncharted territories that we're heading into, that we've been dealing with really for the last 4 months. But, as Chris said in his lecture, these young people, they're looking to us for their guidance, for their stability, for their sense of calm and relaxation in a time where it's really, really easy to press the panic button, and or however that looks, for different people. Some people freak out and change who they are. Some people go into a shell and stop communicating. But the biggest thing that we need to do as coaches right now, and coaching the youth of our state and of our country, is we've got to be a pillar of stability and a calm through the storm to allow our guys, our players, to feed off of that and flourish. So again, I'll be back at 5 for the head coaches panel, but I did want to reach out to everybody that was here listening to Mike talk, and let you guys know how thankful we are at the University of Texas to be coaching in this great state, led by the greatest high school coaches association in the country. And again, it's an honor and privilege to be here today with you guys. So with that, Mike, I'm not sure what's next, if anything, but I do want to say hook 'em to everybody on here, and I'll see you at 5 o'clock.
Thank you very much, Coach. Hook 'em.